I am pregnant. Hey guys, welcome back to the Zielinski Life. My name is Valerie and I wanted to do my early pregnancy signs video today. Now I am about 13 and a half weeks, almost 14 weeks pregnant now. We've had the joy of sharing this news with our friends and our family, and I kind of thought it would be fun to talk about my very first pregnancy signs, like when I started to think I was pregnant. Now my husband and I had been trying for several months with no luck because he's primarily gone out of town for work for weeks at a time, and so it was really hard to try and find a window that would work for us to actually conceive. And so when it finally happened, we weren't really expecting it, even though we had been trying. You know, you kind of go through that whole hopeful to be pregnant, and then the test is negative, and then hopeful, and then negative. So I knew that we were within the window and that there was a chance we could have, but I was also not trying to get my hopes up. But I felt really weird in like the first 2 to 3 weeks. I found out I was pregnant 10 days past ovulation is when I got my positive pregnancy test, but I knew like days before that, like I swear like the day it happened from then on. And I kept Googling like early pregnancy symptoms and got a lot of the, you know, the typical like sore boobs or feeling really tired. And I didn't really have a lot of that. I was really tired for about 2 or 3 days. All I wanted to do was sleep, and then I seemed to be fine, but I didn't have the sore boobs or anything like that. So I thought I would talk about kind of the weird pregnancy symptoms that I noticed. So number one is, yes, I was very tired. I napped a lot. It seemed like no matter what I did, I could not get enough sleep. So that was for sure one. Another one is I was getting frequent headaches, which was unusual for me. I had like a headache for 3 straight days out of nowhere. And I mean, I am kind of prone to headaches, but I hadn't had one in months. It was just really weird. And so, yeah, I had a lot of headaches. Okay, now this one's gonna sound kind of gross, but I seemed to be like in those first few days, it was like I had like an overload of mucus being developed, if that makes sense. Like I remember even saying to Cody at one point, like I couldn't stop blowing my nose. I felt stuffed up all the time. It felt like I just had like all this mucus in my throat, but I didn't feel sick or anything. It was just like overproducing like mucus, if that makes sense. And I said to Cody, I said, oh, I wonder if this is like a strange pregnancy symptom or something. Later on that day, we went to a hotel because we had to drive him to the airport so that he could go back out for work. And again, still, we didn't know I was pregnant yet. I fell asleep. I was so tired out of nowhere. I took a nap and I drooled all over the pillow, which is so gross. And it's not like me at all. Like I do not drool in my sleep. But there was this puddle of drool left on the pillow. And I said, that's weird. So yeah, that was another weird pregnancy symptom. So another one was that I was super emotional. It was only there was just one day, and I don't really PMS, like I don't get super irritable or moody or anything like that when I get my period. And I just thought it was really weird. We were, again, before we found out that I was pregnant, and we were going to leave to the city for the next day, and I just had like this little breakdown where it was like my whole world was falling apart for no apparent reason. I cried for most of the day. I was questioning everything I was doing with my life. It was like having a little mini like mental breakdown for the day. It was really out of character for me, but in the moment it felt really, really real. And poor Cody, he spent most of that day cuddling me and reassuring me and just being so patient and loving, like he always is. And I woke up the next day and I was like, that was really out of character for me. Why am I getting so emotional for no apparent reason? So that was another kind of like tip off for me. Going on along with the emotionalness, that only lasted for a day. But there was like a week where I was super irritable. It was like everything and everyone annoyed me. Sounds, people doing nothing, you know, like going about their business, doing nothing annoying at all. And I was like, how dare they cross the street like that? You know, like it was just really weird for me. Everything annoyed me. I was just mad all the time, irritable all the time. So that was another one where I was like, wow, like what is going on with me right now? Oh, okay, here's another really weird one. I had an intense, crazy, sensitive sense of smell. Like, I swear I could smell stuff from miles away. Like, things that I would normally not smell or notice, or things that wouldn't even bother me before, it was like I could smell it 100 times stronger. A lot of those things made me feel like sick to my stomach, so nauseous. It was like, I think it was probably a bit of a struggle to live with me for that week in that tiny little trailer there, because yeah, I was mad, I was tired, I didn't want to do anything. I complained all the time about everything, like all these smells that nobody else could smell but me. It was just really weird. Another thing that I noticed was food aversions. Very early on in the pregnancy, again, before I found out I was pregnant, I was starting to notice there were foods that I couldn't eat. Like, they made me feel sick, like cherry tomatoes, like those little, little grape tomatoes. I love those. I love them in salads. I love to just snack on them. And so I went out and got like a thing of cherry tomatoes. And every time I tried to eat it, it was like this immediate heartburn, feeling nauseous, couldn't handle the texture in my mouth, wanted to spit it out. It was just gross. And even now, I will not eat a cherry tomato. And then the last one that I had was really vivid dreams. Now, I've pretty much always been a dreamer, have dreams. Most people do, I think. Usually I'll remember most of them. I guess not really out of the normal, but like they were really, really vivid. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but like just very detailed, very immersive, felt very real, very engaging. Like, we'll wake up in the middle of the night, like, whoa, what did I just dream? That was really weird. Really vivid, strange, unusual dreams. I don't know if anybody else has had that, and I still have that. Like, it's been continuous throughout the entire pregnancy. I find a lot of the times I wake up in the middle of the night, like, there's some whack dreams that I'm having. So, yeah, just some of the early pregnancy signs that I discovered before I found out I was pregnant. There were definitely a lot of moments where I was like, I cannot wait to take this test because I bet you it'll say I'm pregnant. So yeah, it was very exciting. So what were some of your guys' weird early pregnancy symptoms? Did you have any, or were they all pretty like normal? I feel like some of these are normal, like food aversions and fatigue, like nausea. I think that's all pretty normal. I think maybe even headaches are pretty normal, but I feel like some of them I never really read anywhere else, like drooling a lot and excess mucus and vivid dreams and a super sense of smell. And yeah, I'm curious, did you guys have any weird symptoms before you found out you were pregnant, where you were like, I might be pregnant? I'd love to know. And obviously there have been other symptoms and joys and struggles and like weird things changing in my body since then, and I would love to do another video on all of those things, like first trimester symptoms, side effects. Sometimes I feel like pregnancy is an illness. Don't get me wrong, it's a blessing and I am so happy to be pregnant, but when you think about it, it's kind of like having an illness for 9 months. Wow. Anyways, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you're doing great, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.